Nashville, Tennessee, it's Dove Channel's Stand Up for Families Comedy Hour with Chonda Pierce, featuring Michael Jr., K. Dodd, PJ Walsh, Joby Sad, Michael Joyner, Rick Roberts. Now, here's your host, the Queen of Clean herself, Chonda Pierce.
What a great-looking crowd. Fantastic. This is so exciting because I want to thank the Dove Channel for doing this. 3 comedy specials that we're going to see on the Dove Channel, and I'm so excited about it because, oh my stars, do families need to laugh? In this day and age, we just need some time together. So if you're sitting on your couch and you're eating your popcorn, don't choke. We don't have insurance for that. But I want you to know we're so glad that you're here to join us here in the studio. And for the folks back home, we're going to have a blast tonight. What a lineup we've got of comedians you're going to love. If there's something in one of these comedians that you do not like, don't change the channel. The next one will be even worse. Just kidding. I just want you to know that I love family. It is family that made me make it through 25 years of stand-up comedy on the road. 25 years. And I'm pretty sure that's why I was married for so long, because I was gone for 25 years. I am an empty nester, which that's a good thing, and I don't understand the women who, tear up and cry when the kids leave. I don't get those. I tried to work up a good tear. When the last one left, nothing happened. Stood out in the driveway, kept poking myself in the eye, bye, bye, and, we were just kind of glad, let's be honest. I mean, I love kids. I love my kids. I think they love me, but we were a little bit glad we had kids right off the bat when we first got married, because we didn't get the complete talk. So, did your mama do that too? There's moms right now watching on the television going, no, we don't want to do it now. This is the truth. And so we had children early on in our marriage, and so by the time it was time to be empty nested, we were ready to just have some one-on-one time, because that's what moms and dads like to do. When you're at school, we're doing one-on-one time and enjoying ourselves, playing in your room with your toys and your Wii. We're doing all of that ourselves while you're not looking. All that to say, we just kind of fell in love with each other again as we became empty nested. We had a wonderful, wonderful marriage, a wonderful time. And so, no one ever prepares you when the kids want to move back in. James Dobson never wrote any books about it. We'd already raised them as Christians, so we had to say, okay. And here they came in again. And now it's very hard because I am living with my 26-year-old son, who has decided that I was not raised, and he's doing a good job now. He has just taken over my life. For the first time in my life, I came in rather late one night, and he's standing there in the kitchen, just tapping his foot, going, Mom, don't you think it's a little late for you to be out this long? And so I'm like, well, then you should move out. But he's still there. He's a great kid, and we are adjusting, because I will tell you the truth. I was married for 31 years, and a few years ago I lost my husband for the first time, and, well, I don't know if you lose him for the first time. I'd lost him a few times in Walmart, but that doesn't matter. But I did lose my husband, and it's been very difficult. I never thought I would be at this place in my relationship or in my life where I would say I missed his snoring, because that was the very thing that I could have killed him over. And now I kind of wish I could get that back. I have bought 3 sound machines. There's not Rootin' Pig on one of them. They all have to do with the Babbling Brook or the Amazon River or the shower, the rainforest. I can't lay in the bed and listen to water all night long. Just saying. But I do. My husband got to the place in our life and in his life where he could snore better than any human being. He could suck the walls through his nostrils. I don't know if your husband does this, but it's just like... It is the most frightening thing. And does your husband ever do this? He does this little... And you just lay there. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. You don't know whether to call 911 or look for the wheel. you reach for the phone, it's like. I'm telling you, you need Jesus at that stage in your marriage, because you find yourself with that pillow in your hand when he's sawing logs like that, and it would take the Lord to stop that from happening. He was a great guy, though. I have decided I just bought a hog. He lives in the corner of the bedroom. Just throw a little corn over every now and then when I get lonely to hear that. So, life goes on. I have to tell you about the next person that's coming up, because he's just like the comedian's comedian. He's the one that we all watch and go, wow, I wish I had that jacket. Just kidding. He's been on The Tonight Show, on Jimmy Kimmel Live. He's been on Comedy Central, Sony's new film, War Room. And he's an incredible man of God and a hilarious, hilarious friend. Would you put your hands together and make welcome Michael Jr.?
Yo, thank you. Thanks for having me. This is awesome. I'm here. I'm the first black person on the stage and stuff, man. They didn't think through the backdrop. So we're gonna have some fun. I'm gonna tell you about me. I got 5 kids, yeah, and I travel a lot, so I can see them all. I'm just playing. I don't see them. I'm just playing. I got 5 kids, and whenever you have a big family, you have to figure out ways to save money. And we wanted to get our family pictures taken, and that stuff was expensive. So what we did to save money is we all got in the front seat of the car, look both ways, and rent a red light. That's what we did. 2 weeks later, the picture came in the mail. But my son blinked, so we had to do it again. That stuff was crazy. I did that joke recently in prison, right? I wasn't in prison, like, hey, I'm funny, get off me. It wasn't like that. The Bible says laughter is good like a medicine, so God told me, take it to the sick. So we go to prisons, homeless shelters. So in this prison, we do the joke about the red light. And 75% of the prisoners laugh, the rest of them, nothing. And I realized what was going on. Some of them had been locked up for so long, the dude next to him had to explain the joke. He laughed, he was like, see, nowadays, when you run a red light, they send a picture with a ticket in the mail. Then he looked at the dude next to him and was like, a red light is what they use for traffic when you go down the road. And then he said, a road is what they use. I was like, man, where am I at right now? I don't work that hard to find comedy. It kind of shows up. I believe when you walk into what you're supposed to do, like doors just, like comedy literally just follows me. Now, once I get to comedy, I have to develop it, but it just shows up. Like, I took my daughter to buy her a toddler bed. It came with a 20-year warranty. I'm just gonna wait a little while and return it. They're gonna be like, what's wrong? I'm like, she's not comfortable in it. She's 14 years old. I love hanging out with my daughter too. Every Tuesday we go get hot chocolate. And one Tuesday I had a meeting afterwards, so I didn't want to rush our time together. So on Monday I was like, yo, is it okay if we go today instead of Tuesday so we can hang out? And she said, yes, let's go today. So we go get hot chocolate. We actually stop and feed the ducks. And I gave her a life lesson too. I was like, ducks are like bad friends. As soon as you run out of bread, watch what's gonna happen. She wakes up, it's Tuesday. She's all excited. She's like, Dad, what's the day? I was like, Tuesday. She said, yeah, we get hot chocolate. I was like, no, remember, we got hot chocolate yesterday. You said we're not doing it today. You said we could do it yesterday, remember? And for real, she looked at me, she was like, I changed my mind. So we went and got hot chocolate again. We got hot chocolate again. I'm an early person. don't know if there's any early, but I gotta be up at least by 11:30, 11:45. And I hear that there's people that get up earlier for some reason. And they always got those sayings too. It's the early bird that gets the worm. You know what? I don't even like the way worms taste. So I'm gonna stay in the bed, wake up, and have some pancakes. Let's think about that phrase anyway. It's the early bird that gets the worm. The worm got up early too. Look what happened to him. And then you got those people who love to sleep. Like they love, ooh, I slept like a baby. Really? You woke up crying 3 times in the middle of the night? And your bed was wet. Wow. I'm on a prayer team at my church. I know some of y'all judging me like, really? I am, and this dude came up to pray one time, and he was like, I said, yo, what you want to pray about? I didn't say, yo, that's unprofessional. I was like, what would you like to pray about? And he said something I'd never heard before. He said, unspoken. Have you ever heard this before? Like, unspoken? I didn't know what to do. I'm like, okay, Lord, if you could forgive this man for this unspeakable thing he's done, Lord. I hope it's not contagious. Did I see him on the news? I don't know what I'm supposed to do, Lord. Prayer is hysterical. So I grew up in the hood, well, for this next joke. And it was rough too. Like if you wanted a pizza delivered, like the police had to bring it. The place, it was called Popo John's. That was the name of the place. Just trying to see what side of town you're from. We used to play games. Remember the game Slug Bug? If you're from the East Coast, they call it Punch Bug. This is how the game works if you've never played it before. If you see a Volkswagen Bug, you get to hit your friend. Those are all the instructions. In my neighborhood, they would take this game a little too far. They would add to the game. You ever play Uppercut Fire Truck? What about Minivan Body Slam? You ever play that one? There was always one crazy dude in our group who would make up games on the spot. Like, hit you in the throat, tall building. Play too much, man. My kids play sports, and I think as a dad, like any sport my kid ever plays, I always want to coach them, right? At least until they get better than me. So right around 6 years old, I'm like, hey, you got. And kids' sports are very important because it teaches them a work ethic. One of my favorite sayings in life is, if you buy a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. But if you teach him how to fish, then you gotta buy him some fishing poles, bait, tackle, drive him back and forth to the lake. What if he don't like sushi? You gotta buy him a stove. Just saying, just buy that dude a fish sandwich, you know? But if you show him his reason to fish, he'll figure it out himself. I used to play, actually in the hood we used to do this thing called, we used to play water polo a lot in the hood. The black people look at me like, no, you didn't. I have friends who play Major League Baseball. Anybody like baseball? I had never been to a baseball game before, ever. I didn't know anything about baseball. And they was like, yo, you should come to a game. So I go to this Yankees-White Sox game. I don't know anything about baseball. Sitting behind home plate. First thing I notice, everyone there seems to be a little tipsy. But I'm not sure. Then we get to the 7th inning, everybody starts singing a song. What's the song? Take me out to the ball game. We are already at the ball game. You don't know where you are right now? Now, some people say baseball players are athletes. Some people say they're not. I don't know. I'm just watching the game. And this dude gets up to bat, right? This swollen dude gets up to bat. And they pitch him the ball, and he hits the ball as like a base hit. He takes off running fast as he can. But it's really not that fast. They actually went to a commercial break, came back. He was just getting to first base. When he got to first base, he was done. And he did something I've never seen in all of sports before, ever. He went like this. Anybody know what happened? Another dude showed up, took his spot. He went and sat down and had some Gatorade and some Kool-Aid or something. He's sitting there, and the other dude started being athletic for him. You never see that in football. Peyton Manning about to get sacked. He's like, whoa, wait a second. Bring it in, dog. Dude trying to hurt me. Called him a pinch runner. I would love to have a pinch runner in life. Your wife asks you one of them complex questions. Like, hey, does this dress make me look big? Hey, bring it in, dog. She got a question for you. I did, believe it or not. I used to play basketball. I know y'all like, no. I played basketball, but now I'm to the point in life, because basketball, you're supposed to run and jump. I'm to the point now where, I got to choose. Like, which one you want me to do? Like, I can run down there, I can jump down here. I don't know what you want, but. So some friends recently took me ball hunting. Some people call it golf or whatever. First of all, it took all day, right? We were there forever, and apparently I shot like a 121 or something, and then we stopped and ate lunch, and they was like, hey, let's get the other 9 holes or whatever. And I was like, no, I want to leave. And they lied to get me to go. They was like, yo, the greens are awesome. I showed up with some cornbread. I was like, cool. Cornbread just... Huh. If you don't understand that joke, just turn to the black person in your section. Working out is important. Like, I was at the gym the other month, and I'm working out, and I was gonna do some cardio, right? But they moved it upstairs, like, whatever, I ain't going up there. It's cool. Take your time. I'll wait. So I'm at the gym, and I get recognized by this lady, and it's one of those people, one of them people. Like, it's okay. Hey, but she's one of them. So you have to approach them so they don't get crazy. So I was like, hey, how you doing? And then she said, oh, I'm such a fan. I love your, every time I watch your comedy, I just laugh my butt off. I was like, keep laughing. You know what I'm saying? Just keep laughing, you know? I'll try to be funnier. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Did I just hear somebody say, that's funny? Let's see if I got this right. Instead of actually laughing, you're just gonna announce your reaction? That's how you wanna do it? That's like driving down the street and you get cut off in traffic. You're just like, the horn. Wait, I got another one. You get a speck of dust in your eye, you just stand there and say, blink, 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 blink. Brr, brr. So as a coach for my kids sometime, I notice that coaches say things, and even when I play sports, coaches would always say pretty much the same thing. It sounds something like this. You've probably heard it before. They're like, listen. They look at the team and they say, listen, the stuff I'm teaching you here is not just about this game. You can apply it to life. You ever hear that before? Exactly. Here's the thing. It's not true. Let me explain. Straight out of high school, I got a job. I was parking cars. One of the cars was really nice. I took it for a little spin. The company found out, and my boss lost the account. He was yelling at me, screaming. I didn't know what to say or do. I thought back to my high school football coach. I looked at my boss. I was like, you know what, man? You win some, you lose some, man. You can't let this one loss get you down. Listen, the important thing is I went out there and I had fun. And I've had fun here. Thank you very much. I love you. I love you. I love you. I'm Michael Jr. I'm gonna roll out.
I have a very dear friend that's out here, and of course I have to be a little prejudiced because she's a gal. And I love women out there, getting it, trying to help people to laugh and keeping it clean. And she is absolutely hysterical. She has been a stand-up comedian for quite some time. Started out in the clubs, opening for the blue-collar comedy guys, and she has been an incredible friend to me. And I have taken her on the road with me a few times, and she's hysterical. I want you to put your hands together and make a great big Dove Channel warm welcome to my friend, Kay Dodd.
Chonda Pierce. Keep it going for Chonda. Oh, I love it. Well, my full name is actually Velva K. Dodd. That's Velva as in aqua Velva, okay? My namesake is an aftershave that you can buy at a convenience store. So I just I've opened for a lot of famous people. I'm not famous, but I, have opened for famous people. And I was just at a church in South Georgia yesterday, and they advertised my being there on the whiteboard. It's just a dream come true right there. It's like I've waited my whole life to get my name in dry erase marker. So I've been trying to lose weight. Well, not really. It's just something I say. It makes skinny people feel better. And skinny people say some really weird things like, I'm not hungry. Or, I'm full, like right after they had a crouton. And, but I have quit sugar. I did quit sugar like 2 hours ago. And so far, so good. I bought a pedometer to track my steps so that I could keep up with how many steps I walked today. And I read that if you walk 10,000 steps a day, that you'll lose weight and you'll control your blood sugar. And I checked it backstage. I'm at 12,500 steps. Since October. And not walking that much. I end up in Mississippi. But I have tried a lot of things to lose weight. I tried the point system. Anybody in that cult? My little trainer's like, you get 27 points a day, Kay. And I'm like, great, I scored 92. I win something? That was for breakfast. So, well, I didn't know how many points a pound of bacon had in it. So, when I did comedy before, I was a little bitty comedian, and I was in a little size 2, and I finally got back in my 2s. It just has an X on it now. I've noticed something about clothing sizes. When you're a kid, your age is the same as your clothing size. When you're a 2, you're in a 2. You're a 3, you're in a 3. That cycled back around for me at 44, 46, 48. I went shopping to find something to wear for this show. I was in a little boutique last week. Okay, thrift store. And I love pantsuits. They had a pantsuit that was actually 3 sizes too big for me. And, there's only one that somebody threw out. And most people would move on. I'm standing there looking at it going, I could get in that. I just got to set some goals. Well, my name is Kay. I'm an alcoholic. Sorry, wrong meeting. Sometimes forget where I'm at. No, by the grace of God, I have been sober 20 years and 5 months this week. I got sober in a 12-step program. I can't tell you which one because we're anonymous, but I have people in my life to keep me humble about that, about how long I've been sober. I called up a friend to tell her I'd gotten my 1-year chip, and I was all excited. And she said, I don't even know what that means, and I hadn't had a drink in 35 years. Where's my chip? I was like, on your shoulder? I used to run a jail ministry for a while, right up until they let me out. And oh, I'm kidding. Now, I'm getting older. I'm going to be 55 soon. Any other 55? Yes, we're still standing. Yes, we are. I'm 55. I don't have the same memory. I'm looking forward to all the discounts. They're like geriatric kickbacks. It all kicks in at 55. But my memory's not what it used to be. I washed a load of water yesterday, and yeah, come on, you've done it. I not only washed it, I rinsed it and spun it dry. I tend to over-spiritualize things sometimes. I went back to get my clothes out with expectation. When they weren't there, I thought my clothes had been raptured. My daughter takes things very literally. She was like, Mom, how did you get the water out of the washer into the dryer to spin it dry? Did I mention we homeschool? I used to have a mind like a steel trap. Now it's like a colander. I have memory leakage. And I've noticed God has a great sense of humor about my aging process because my eyebrows are turning white and my facial hair is now dark. So, yeah, I had to get my eyebrows dyed to do this show. So, that's just a little too real for some of you, isn't it? And I have one eyebrow that grows at like the speed of light. It's just... I checked it this morning. It was fine. I got here. It opened the car door. And the thing about those kind of eyebrows, they're really strong. Do not pluck one like that. I plucked one time. It left a crop circle in the middle. I think there's some gray matter involved. My husband's convinced that's where my memory went. So, my husband is a carpenter. And you know, he's the son of a carpenter, and there's a story about that 2,000 years ago. It turned out okay. And we bought a 1940s built farmhouse. You know, handyman's dream, wife's nightmare. And but we moved there. We used to live in a trailer, and because it was a double wide. I'm not bragging, but we had some cash, and And the double wides do kind of scare me because you have to split them in half to move them, okay? And the day that we moved, I was so nervous because it takes 2 trucks. I thought, what if one of the trucks wrecks? We'd be sitting in our living room and go, it's a nice day out. We have lost half of everything we own. Another day coming up, 65, I saw just half of a double wide. My daughter and I just saw half of it. For 30 miles, we never saw the other truck. I told you I over-spiritualized stuff. I grabbed her hand. I said, baby, let's pray. That could be a divorce. I love my husband, and I believe that I'm supposed to be what the Bible says that I am to be and to him, and that is his helpmate. Ladies, I think we should embrace that. I think we should be thrilled about that because I think what that means is that God created all of the earth, created everything on the earth, and then looked at man and went, son, you're going to need some help. Hey, listen, I'm K. Dodd. Thank you.
I don't like all these people that are on the show. But I do really like this guy. For one, he served the United States in the Navy, an incredible man, an incredible soldier. Worked his way up into the White House. He has been an incredible advocate for those wounded soldiers out there. He's been entertaining the troops in more countries than I can even name. He has been in the Olympic Winter Games in Salt Lake City. He's been all over the world. He was a star in the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. Some of you have heard of that. He had a very successful show on Sirius Satellite Radio, which is how I met him. And he has been a great friend and an incredible veteran. I want you to put your hands together and make a very warm welcome to my friend, PJ Walsh.
Chonda Pierce, huh? I didn't even know half the stuff I did. I was like, I did that? Good to see you guys. A lot of ladies here. I can see this. I've never been married. Grew up with 3 sisters, 18 years with them. I'm good. I'm good. They made it rough. I threw the towel in a long time ago. You guys win. It was tough. People come to my house all the time. You know, growing up, they'd be like, hey, where's your bathroom? Oh, my bathroom. I have 3 sisters. It's that tree right outside. Small one. Dad's got the big one. They're Irish Catholic, too, so they're having babies like crazy. I can't keep up. I show up at the house, there's a new kid. I'm like, huh? Where'd you come from? Right? And when my very first niece was born, she was 12 pounds, 8 ounces. Yeah, see, I'm guessing that's big. I'm a dumb dude. I was like, I could bench that, walk it off. It's like 1 plate. That's how I found out how big it was. People's reactions, especially you ladies. Especially to the questions you ask, because ladies, you always ask the same question after a baby's born. You guys are always like, so how big was the baby? How big was it? There'd be a reaction. I'm like, 12 pounds, 8 ounces. Oh, good night. God bless you, ladies. Thank you for having children. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, because I tell you what, I speak for every man in this room when I say if you ever pulled anything out of us, 12 pounds, 8 ounces, we'd never love it. That takes compassion. We're not built like that. That's how dumb I was. I actually did not realize how big that baby was till Thanksgiving Day. They brought the turkey man. How big is that? 12 pounds. Okay, I get it. My sister in the corner using a walker. Get back here right now! You get back here right now! You better respect me! Take some legs! My second oldest sister was your typical second oldest sister. She was a boy crazy sister. And now God did me a favor and gave her 4 boys of her own. You know? And you know what I did last Christmas? I bought each of them a musical instrument. That's right. You could be the next Jonas Brothers. And one of them, my nephews, is so cute. He was going in second grade, and he called me up for Valentine's Day. He called me up. He was freaking out. He's like, "Uncle Pete, I need some help. And I said, "What's going on?" So he goes, "We're having a talent show on Valentine's Day, and I want to tell a joke like you and be funny because there's some girls in class I think are cute." Right? So I'm like, "Oh, all right, I got you. So I gave him a joke. I told him everything to do. All right? So this is my nephew, Kale, on Valentine's Day, talent show, Love on the Line. Hello, my name is Kale. I have a joke to tell. What did the history book say to the math book? Yo, you got problems. Then I told him to bow and go, I'll be here all year. Try the tater tots. Peace. He called me up all excited. He said, Uncle Peach, I crushed. I got like 18 cupcakes on my desk from ladies. It's my little man right there. And then the third boy, I got to be the godfather of the third boy. I was passed up twice. I was kind of angry about that, right? But I'm Catholic. In the Catholic Church, you have to get a letter of good intent from the church. I had to get a letter of good intent. And when I was there, they asked me, I have no problem, I go to church all the time, but they asked me, is there anything that you're not happy about the church? And I said, well, there are some people I don't like. And he said, who? I go, I can't stand, you're probably with me on this, I can't stand the people who leave the last 5 minutes to beat traffic. I hate them. They're cheating the Lord. And you know who they remind me of? You know when you go to watch your favorite sport team and they're losing really, really bad? And everyone decides to get up and leave the last 5 minutes to beat traffic? Then what happens? They get in their car and they're stuck in traffic and they listen to the game on the radio, and every once in a while, that miraculous comeback happens and they miss it. See, I want that to happen in church. I want the last 5 minutes, I want the priest to come in and go, I'm so happy you stayed. We have a special guest speaker. Jesus has arrived. Oh! Oh! The next day, they'd be like, what'd he say? Can't tell you, you left. But we got a tour of heaven. That place is amazing. And they give me like a fast pass. You know that? Like, you ever go to a carnival and there's the people who have to wait online and then people just go right on in? I get to go right on in. What about me? You get to wait online. All those minutes that you left early. That's my life right there, you know? My little sister's my favorite, though, because she's the funniest person I ever met in my life. She's the cutest person ever. She can't, because she says things that are just so knuckleheaded. And it's always when she's driving. She can't drive and think at the same time. I'm always there. All right? I'll tell you a couple of them. So one time, my little sister's driving the car. I'm in the passenger seat, and one of those bicycles goes in front of us. You guys know what a recumbent bicycle is? All right, for the people who don't know, that's a bicycle where it looks like you're laying down on a couch and you're pedaling at the same time. It's like the laziest cycling in the history of the world. Well, a guy in one of those goes pedaling right in front of the car. My sister sees him, and she says to me, I quote, exact words, look at that guy, Peach. He must be paralyzed. And I'm the brother. I couldn't wait. I'm like, yeah, look at the way his feet are moving. In that rapid circular motion. That's a rare paralyzed condition that guy suffers from. He's like waving at us, thanks for stopping. And then she tried to save face. She's like, well, maybe he's just paralyzed from the waist down. Did you just trump your own stupidity? Then another time, in a car again, and she did this one by herself and admits it. That's how cool my little sister is. She called me up right away. She's like, I think I got a joke for you. I'm like, you bet you got a joke for me. Well, this time she bought a new car. You know, if you get a new car, you get to rent a car, you learn about all the gadgets while you're driving it, right? Well, she's got the steering wheel, and on the steering wheel was the cruise control. It had these little lumps on it, and she's feeling the lumps, and she says to herself, this must be Braille. She's got the window down and the stick hanging out like, I got no idea where I'm going! Feeling rivets in the road. Oh, we're almost home. Shonda's like, that's just wrong. She's a kindergarten teacher now, so that's the future. Unbelievable. They're my favorite people in the world. And they mentioned earlier that I was in the military. I was in the Navy for 5 years. And the day after I graduated high school, I joined the United States Navy. I was stationed with the Marines, went to the Persian Gulf with the Marines for 6 months. Trained as a dental technician. Yeah, these guys had tanks, mortars, I'd floss. I'm like, come on! People ask me all the time, like, you in the war? Yeah, I was in the war on plaque. You might laugh, tooth decay is an everyday battle. I know, that's a stupid joke. But I did a lot of dental work, and here's the best piece of dental advice I can give you for everybody. It's pretty simple. It's easy, all right? This is how you can tell if you're not good at dental, all right? Go in your bathroom and take a good look at your toothbrush. Look at your toothbrush, all right? If your bristles are shaped like, let's throw that bad boy away, huh? It's gone way beyond its life expectancy. The bristles themselves are making a conscious choice not to touch your teeth. How disgusting is your mouth when the bristle's like, I don't think so, partner. You know what my favorite part of that joke is? It's not done. Because when you guys go home and when there's a commercial break, everyone's gonna go in their bathroom, grab their toothbrush, and go, oh, he's right. That's not Oral-B, that's oral old. But at the end, my last job when I was in the Navy is I did all the dental in the White House. That was my job. I was in charge of the president's mouth. Yeah, pretty good, right? And when I did the job, my favorite story is my 3 sisters brought my mom down to the White House, okay? And in the basement of the White House is a tiny little dental clinic, okay? And I brought my mom. Now you have to understand, both my parents immigrated here from Ireland, right? So for my mother, she grew up on a little farm in Ireland, came here as a teenager with dreams of just the greatest country in the world. And now her son is providing health care for the President of the United States. So my mom was sitting in a dental chair, and she's crying. My sisters are looking on. And she looked at me and she goes, PJ, I'm so proud of you. I was like, thank you, Mom. And then she looked at my 3 sisters and went, girls, your brother is winning. And you guys are tonight for this comedy. Thank you for having me. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
I am excited for this next performer coming up. He's so funny. He's been on Thou Shalt Laugh, Bananas comedy series, and also he has a new show called Vidiots. Please make welcome Joe B. Sad.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Chonda Pierce, everybody. Chonda Pierce. She's in the audience. This is unusual for a comic to sit up front and watch other comics. This is very supportive, and also a little unnerving. This is great. Well, gosh, I'm so glad you guys are all here. This is so much easier for me than for me to come over to your place, you know, or for you to come to my place, you know, or for us to go to Shonda's. Not that there's anything wrong. I'm sure we would all love to. I would love to come over. No. Okay. Anyway, it's okay. Okay, so I guess you guys are not invited. Neither am I. But anyway, I was walking. I flew in here. I flew back into Nashville. I was walking through the airport. I passed some lady I don't even know. Your shoelace is untied. I go, okay. I got one that is tied. How come you didn't mention that one? You know, why do people have to be so negative? You know, why can't we all be more positive? You know, she could have said, "Hey, you have a shoelace tied. Way to go." You know, "Hey, you got a shoelace tied. You're just the man I've been looking for to head up our overseas operation. A man with a vision who doesn't get bogged down with details." It's about time somebody take notice of my ability. You know, I'm gonna be ready next time I see her. "Your shoelace is untied." "Yeah, I know. That's because I'm a highly trained martial artist. Trained in the art of Taiwan shoe." Where I kick and fling my shoe at you. I flew in, you know, my name is Joby Sad. That's my real name. I don't know why people want to correct me. You know, there's like, "Are you sure it's not Sod?" No, it's Sad. "Is it Joe B. Sad?" "No, it's just Joby." You're like, "No, I think it's Joe B." They start arguing about it. You know, like, I'm right here. No, I know my own name. Trust me. Trust me on this. It's Lebanese. So I'm half Lebanese and half Irish. And so I always, you know, get double screened at the, you know, going through the airport. Because they're not sure, you know, which half is going to rule. I guess. I don't know. But anyways, it's scary getting on a plane. Personally, I think they ought to play Middle Eastern music on every flight. And first person that taps his foot is out. You know? Khazab, got a lot of zini. But really the same principle applies here in the United States. You want to find out who's going to cause trouble in advance? Put on some Leonard Skinner. Free bird! That's the one. Get him out of here. Anyway, it's crazy. My brother picks me up at the airport and he brings his kids, and they're all on their cell phone the whole time. They wanted to see you. How is that possible? They haven't even looked at me since we got in the car. You guys have a problem with that? You know, my brother's like, "Well, that's how kids are." Well, you have to teach them. Don't you think? You know, that's the whole thing, you know. So, anyway, that's what I think. What's your name right here?
I'm Abram.
You're Abram? Okay, who are you with here, Abram?
I'm with my sister.
What's her name? Kylie. Okay, everybody say hi, Abram. Hi, Kylie. Hi, Kylie. So how old are you?
I'm 11.
Okay, really? Do you play video games?
Yeah.
Really? What's your favorite game? Zelda? Is that a good one? Really? What's Zelda about? What is it about? You find the princess. Okay, well, I could play that one. Sure, I could get behind that one. You want to play a video game with me? Sure. Right here, right now? Sure. Okay, come on up here and give me a hand. Okay, go ahead. Let's see. Stand right over here. Okay, so your name is
Abram.
Abram. Okay, and you're 11 years old. And so, have you decided what you want to do when you grow up?
I want to be an electrical engineer.
Everyone's real excited about that. I guess that would imply you have like a bright job future. Do you know anybody that's an electrical engineer right now?
No.
Really? So you just came to it? You didn't have like somebody else that was like an inspiration that like pays your bills or anything?
Nope.
Well, let me ask you this: like when you're at home, there's like, there's like a light switch on the wall.
Yeah.
And do you get to fiddle with it?
Yeah.
Okay, did I have anything to do with it? Because I never got to touch it I never got to go near any of the outlets, you know. Did you ever like stick a fork inside an outlet?
No.
Okay, you seem to have a bright future. You seem to know what you're doing. Okay, well, this is a video game that I came up with because I've had an issue with kids that are always on their little devices and everything, and so I think it's important for us to like interact and do this kind of thing and talk, and it's hard to do that unless you have your own TV show. Unless you have to work at it. Anyway, so this is a video game. We'll call this, I don't know what we'll call it. We'll call it the Joby. Okay, so this is the joystick. This is how advanced this game is. So each one of these fingers represents an action on this new video game that we're going to play. Okay. So if you would, just go ahead and reach for the first control on the game. Okay, that's enough. Okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead and do the next one. Go ahead and do the next one. No, not that one. You just like to get hit, huh? Not the thumb. Not the thumb. Not the thumb. Not the thumb. Abram, everybody, Abram. Thank you very much. Thank you. See, this is a fun game activity you can do at home. It's a way to spend time with your children and beat them. So, I don't know. Anyway, you weren't injured in any way, were you, Abram? Okay, very good. So you like ice cream? What's your favorite? What's your flavor? Vanilla. He really is white. Okay. Anyway, but no, that's good. That's a great choice. Everybody tries to correct me. I don't know. Everywhere I go, everybody tries to correct me. I pushed on this door to come in. Somebody behind me goes, "You got a pull." I hate it when people say that. You got a pull. Oh, thanks. My second choice was going to be to lift up from the bottom. You got a pull. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. I'd have been here all day just pushing and pushing. I was gonna get you to help me push. Give me a hand. We all gotta push as a team. We gotta pull. Oh, tell me more, oh wise one. Where were you yesterday when I was stuck in a revolving door? I wish that gotta pull lady was here. She'd know what to do. Hey, you folks been a lot of fun. God bless you. I gotta go.
One of my favorite comics are here tonight, and I say that almost every single person I introduce, don't I? This is my favorite comedian. I really hate them all because they're all so funny. This fella is hysterical. He was in one of my favorite movies of all time called The Grace Card. He was also the first place winner of the funniest comic in LA in 2008, a contributing writer for The Tonight Show for many years, and he is the very funny, very intense, great fella. Please make welcome Michael Joyner.
Chonda Pierce, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, Chonda. Woo! Yeah. And all the other comedians, come on, fantastic job. Didn't they do a great job? Yes. Got more coming. Good to be here in Nashville, man. Yeah. Tennessee. Where if you miss your exit on the freeway, just back up. No problem, okay? It's a big deal. No, I love Tennessee. I did. We filmed The Grace Card in Memphis, and I'll tell you, those Memphis folks, they're nice people, but they better be thankful for bungee cord, because otherwise a lot of them just drive around with their trunks wide open, I think, if you just saw that over there. Everybody from Memphis, is that what happened tonight? Everybody's there. There's a bus outside that says straight from Memphis. Okay, good joke to start out with. All right. Well, good to be here. I know we got a lot of families here. I got to start with this. I was at the mall the other day. You can always tell where the Christian families are when you're at the mall, because they're the ones yelling at their kids, and they all got biblical names. Caleb, Joshua, Beelzebub, get over here. Moses, put down that snake. Here's what my sister does when she yells at her kids, and it drives me nuts. She'll yell at them. If they don't behave right away, she'll start counting. 1, 2, 3, then they'll behave. Otherwise, she'll keep counting. 5,786. Don't make me go to 1,000,000. I know where she got that. She got that from my dad when we were little. So if he used to just go 1, bam! He wouldn't hit us, just get right in our face and go bam! Kind of a wacko. I used to get in a lot of trouble as a kid for being a smart aleck. I remember one time my sister was impersonating my dad, so I told on her. I said, Dad, Jennifer's impersonating you. He goes, tell her to stop. So I said, Jennifer, quit acting like an idiot. Here comes my dad right in my face. Bam! I like how some of you moms deal with it when you're in a public place, your kid does something kind of stupid. You don't want to attract attention, so you do that ventriloquist thing. If you don't put that toy on right now, I'm going to spank your butt so hard when we get home. Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said? I hear you, but your lips ain't moving. Don't you get smart with me. I will spank your... That's why Charlie Brown's parents talk like that. They were yelling at him. Oh, I used to get spanked when I was little. And if you're my age, you know this is true. We used to get spanked according to how long it took to describe the offense. Right? Don't you ever. Those 3 were free. Don't you ever put a firecracker in the cat's butt and light it again. So if one of our friends had some crazy idea, we'd have to count the syllables. Don't you ever go in the neighbor's pool in your underwear? I'm not doing that. Are you kidding me? Can we just pull your sister's hair? I can handle that. Oh, man. So they just built a new 24-hour Walmart by my house. You guys got that here, right? The 24-hour. Oh, you're rooting for that? You all work there? Is that it? We're from Memphis, and we work at Walmart. 24-hour Walmart, man. Thank God for that. I don't know how many times I woke up at 3 a.m. going, I need some underwear and a cantaloupe right now. "24-hour Walmart." Every time I go in that place, I think, can we get a few more lights in here, please? That place is bright. People go, where'd you get your tan? Walmart. I do 20 minutes a week in the shampoo section. Place is huge, too. I saw people hitchhiking. Anybody going to the vitamins? Anybody? Vitamins? Actually got glasses. I got my glasses at Walmart, man. They have an optometry section at Walmart. Yeah. Took the eye exam. You guys have probably done that, the eye exam. That's pretty foolproof. It's like, okay, Mike, cover your right eye, read the top line. OACD. Okay, cover your left eye, read the same line. The OACD line, you remember read that one? WKLM? So I was real happy to see they put my hotel by a dollar store because I got anniversary coming up. I got her 2 things, settle down. I'm such a sucker for the dollar store. I don't know why I always shop there trying to save money. Last summer, I bought this gigantic can of ant spray, used the entire can trying to kill 9 ants. The only ones that died were the ones that couldn't swim. I think that's a big lie. I think the only reason not to answer your phone these days is because you don't want to talk to the person, right? And I'm honest with people. That's why if you call my phone, you get this message. Hi, it's Mike. I have caller ID. Bye. Some of you are going to do that. I just know it. We got a lot of married folks here tonight. Married folks? All right. Most of you look happy about it. Not everybody. But, hey, you better enjoy it now because according to the Bible, there is no marriage in heaven. Yeah. Doesn't say that about hell, though. I think about it. Just reporting the truth, folks. No, marriage is great. A man is incomplete until he's married. Then he's finished. Don't forget that. He's done. You have to have a good sense of humor in marriage. I was telling my wife the other day, I said, honey, you know guys like Tom Cruise are a dime a dozen. She goes, here's a nickel, get me 6. Jesus wasn't married, according to the Bible. Jesus was not married, and which is probably a good thing because things could have been different. Come on. Could you see Jesus married? Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Will you stop finishing my sentences? Okay, it's not Doctrine Baptist, okay? Settle down. I can see the Baptist. We're leaving. Now, you guys are a fun group. I do appreciate you. I love my wife. I joke about marriage. I couldn't live without my honey pie, but she does things, I admit, that get under my skin. For instance, anybody else got a wife that answers a question with a question? Anybody else? Oh, nobody wants to get in trouble but me? We're not going to go with you on this one, pal. My wife does that to me all the time. The other day, I was looking for my oldest son. I said to my wife, "Where's Dustin?" She said, "I don't know. Where'd he go?" "Where'd he go?" "He's in the backyard. Anything else I can help you with?" Can't give a specific answer. The other day, I said to my wife, "Where's the scissors?" She said, "In the drawer." Good thing we only have one drawer in the entire house. I know exactly where that's at. Fell for it again the other day. I said, I was making myself some dinner. I said, "Honey, how long do I keep the ribs in the oven?" She said, "Till they're done." Can you say that again slowly? I don't know where you ladies come up with some of this stuff. The other day, it's true, I'm not kidding. I said to my wife, "I got a rash on my back." She said, "Did you buy a new shirt?" Are we still talking about the same thing? "No, Dr. Oz, I didn't buy a new shirt." What kind of evaluation process is that? "My elbow hurts. Did you open up a bag of apples?" "I can't breathe. Are you dead?" Now, men, you know this is true. Here's something I know you ladies do. You take advantage of our terrible memory. We have terrible memory, so bad that we even forget stuff about ourselves. You can convince us. I'm not kidding. The other day, I asked my wife, I said, "What's for dinner, honey?" She said, "I made you a bean burger." I said, "I don't like bean burgers." She said, "Yes, you do." "Oh, okay." "I thought I didn't, but I guess I do." Thanks for reminding me that something I thought tasted like dung, I actually like. You do that, ladies. The other day, not too long ago, when the baseball games were on, when the Royals were winning, my KC Royals, I said to my wife, I said, "Honey, I'm going to Roger's house to watch the game." She said, "No, you're not. We're going to my mother's for dinner tonight." I said, "When did we discuss this?" "Last week, and you said you wanted to go." "Oh, okay." "I must have forgot." "Are we having bean burgers? Because I like them." Oh, goodness. So I used to live in Los Angeles. I don't know, anybody ever been to L.A.? Anybody here? Yeah? You just used to live out there? What'd you do out there? When you was little, she made sure I knew how little she was there. When I was this big, when I went out for the Lollipop Kids on The Wizard of Oz, I auditioned in Hollywood. So, so the parking ticket people are wacko is what I'm getting at. They are. I got like 3 parking tickets in a row last time I was in Hollywood. My third parking ticket, I park my car, I go in this place, I go in, I come out. I got a ticket because my wheel was not turned towards the curb. On my way home, going down Sunset Boulevard, I see a guy in a G-string carrying a bottle of wine yelling at people. He's okay. Yeah, I guess he parked straight. I'm the big troublemaker. Right before I moved, I'm back in Kansas City, Missouri now, but right before I moved from LA, they had this thing in the newspaper about this guy that got beat up by some monkeys. Yeah, he was visiting his pet monkey at some monkey zoo, like most of us do. 2 other monkeys beat him up, almost killed him. And you know, I was looking on the internet after that. Do you know people have actually been killed by monkeys? Yes. Yeah. I'll tell you what, if I'm ever killed by a monkey, don't even come to my funeral. Because I want people crying at my funeral, not trying not to laugh. And just what do you say at that funeral anyway? So they catch the monkey who did it, or? And you know the teasing goes on forever, right? You'll be walking around in heaven, "Hey, monkey boy!" Come on, Lord, knock it off. This friend of mine who wasn't aware my mom passed away was talking to me. He goes, "Hey, how's your mom?" I said, "Well, she's with Jesus." He goes, "Oh, she died?" "No, she ran off with Jesus, her Mexican friend." I admit I make fun of everybody. I'm a big smart aleck, but I do the stupidest stuff. I do the dumbest stuff, especially the older I get. Here's something I find myself doing a lot. You ever be talking and the wrong voice fluctuation comes out? Feel like a big idiot? I was in this crowded coffee shop not too long ago. My friend is yelling at me from across the room. I meant to say, I'll come over there. But it came out, I'll come over there. How do you cover that up? I'll be over there with all my relatives from Holland over there, yeah. Be right over there. I never learned. I did the same thing with my wife the other day. She goes, I'm making meatloaf for dinner. I meant to say awesome, but it came out, oh, you know I hate your meatloaf. I'll be over there sleeping on the couch over there, yeah. You guys are wonderful. God bless you. Thank you so much. I'm Michael Joyner. Appreciate it.
The next comic coming out here is just absolutely hysterical. If you've ever seen, anybody remember the Andy Griffith Show? Okay, when he comes out, if he does not look like Barney Fife, I'm saying that sweetly because I did a show with him years ago and I played the mayor's daughter of Mayberry and he played Barney Fife. It was a play or something like that. I don't know why I'm sharing it with you because half of you don't care anyway. But it was hysterically funny, and he's so quick-witted and so funny, and I am so excited to introduce you to him. We have a comedy conference every year, and he teaches comics how to write comedy. He is that brilliant and that smart, and I love him very much. He's been on Bananas comedy show. He's been on CMT's 20 Greatest Redneck Moments. A writer and a performer for the Henry Cho comedy show. Would you put your hands together and make welcome Rick Roberts?
All right, how's it going? Good, well, I guess I ought to do a little Barney Fife all of a sudden, huh? Well, how y'all doing out there? Yeah, nip it in the bud. Well, it is so good to be here. Thank y'all for coming out. It's a big day for me. I want y'all to celebrate with me. Today was a big day. We sent in our final house payment today. How about that? Thank you. Thank you. I mean, it's not paid off, but that's just the last time I'm writing those guys a check. They said adjustable. I adjusted it down to today. No, it is good to be here. Getting a little older. I didn't wear my glasses tonight. I felt I needed to, but I'm going to skip them. I didn't want to get glasses, but about 2 weeks ago, I was about 30 minutes into a ZZ Top documentary on TV, and it turned out to be Duck Dynasty. I was like, Frank has let himself go. It is good to be here. I am getting older. I found out a few weeks ago about high cholesterol. Anybody else high cholesterol? Be proud. Hand holders got high cholesterol. They told me my cholesterol number was 425. Yeah. That's the highest in my county, so I get to go to regionals in a couple of weekends. I got to beat out a guy that works at a Waffle House, you know. He's taking butter home to get his numbers up. Juicing, you know. Yeah, juicing, that's right. Yeah, cholesterol, nothing to mess with. My doctor got mad. He goes, you need to immediately change your diet and your exercise programs. And that's when I knew I was in trouble, because I wasn't running either a diet or an exercise program. I had to get on one and change it just to suit him. But he didn't say what kind of exercise, you know, at first, or what kind of diet. So I just started Googling diets to see which one I liked. And I got on that Atkins diet. You can eat meat like 10 times a day. You eat meat, you play a little guitar, and you take a nap. Pretty good diet. That was the Chet Atkins diet that I got on. Goes way back. Yeah, I didn't want to get on medicine because you see those commercials, right? I don't care what the pill is. 55 seconds of horrific side effects. Have you seen the commercial? It says, may cause an early death. Whoa. I'm ahead of that game already right there. So I got on this cholesterol pill. I left out the side effect in that commercial. It's $8 a pill. I know, $8 a day. That's 3 Big Macs I can't eat right there. $8. And they're little. One morning I got up and I dropped my pill and I couldn't find it. And I was out $8. Yeah. So now I wrap it up in a piece of bacon, swallow it whole every day. I melt cheese on there so it sticks real good. If I can get a toothpick in there, that's a pill and a blanket. Take that to the church social right there. No, but I want to try to stay healthy. I've got youngins. I started family late in life. I'm 47. I've got a 10-year-old son and a 3-year-old baby girl. Yeah, that's the correct response. Nobody claps. He just put me in the prayer group. All right, that's it. And if that isn't enough, recently my wife has brought up the topic of adoption. I'm like, honey, let's just be honest here. I don't think anybody's going to take those kids off our hands at this point. Put them on Craigslist, see if you get a nibble. That 10-year-old's got some miles, I don't know. Yeah, it is tough being older when you got babies. Here's something I learned last week. Hard to trim a baby's fingernails when you're wearing bifocals. You ever try that? That's like whack-a-mole on a tater-totter. Somebody's going down, they're not popping back up. It is tough. And I know I look a little tired. Our 3-year-old does not like to sleep through the night, up a couple times. And one lady told me what I should do is just whenever that baby takes a nap, I should try to squeeze in a nap too and keep up. Don't ever do that. We totaled 3 minivans that first week. I'm like, you need to put some Red Bull in that bottle so we can get to town. It's tough. Those babies are faster than me too. My 3-year-old's faster than me. That's sad. You know, I can't keep up. My mother-in-law got on. She's like, you need to baby-proof that house better. Y'all did a horrible job. You ever tried to baby-proof a house? We spent about a month on that, and she still got back in. She found the doggy door in the garage, and there she was. And I think we're done with diapers. We're so close. Last time I changed her, I was at the mall and had to use one of those koala bear plastic Ebola dispensing. How'd that get past R&D? But I was reading the sticker to make sure I was going to do it right. And have you ever read the safety sticker? Yeah, it says weight not to exceed 150 pounds. That is a big old baby right there, ain't it? 150. That's a rib-eating, bib-wearing. That's a state fair baby is what that is. Don't put it next to the butter sculpture of Garth Brooks. It'll eat it. 150. I'm 146. That baby could take me out. I mean, I know childhood obesity is an issue, but if your baby is pushing $150, put down the sweet tea and get out of the food court. Let's go. I just want her to be a baby as long as she can, though. I got my son. He's 10. He likes technology. That's what they all like. You know, Christmas, I said, what do you want, buddy, for Christmas? Oh, I need to get an iPad, 64 gigabyte. How about an iPad Air, 2 backup battery packs? That ought to be good. Built-in Wi-Fi plan if you got it. I'm like, you need to slow down, dude. You're 10. He's like, how about an iPhone? I'm like, you need to go outside and get a stick. Get you a wireless stick. 64 hickory nut, that's what I'll get you. Oh, he got a stick. 10 minutes later, poked himself in the face. We had to get him an eye patch. Right on his eyeball. That's right. My wife was irate. He's a good kid. You know, sometimes if you're honest and you're a parent, you'll admit the stuff your kids say scares you, doesn't it? Sometimes it does. One night I'm tucking my son into bed. I'm like, hey, buddy, hope you have sweet dreams. He looks up, he goes, I hope you're still breathing when I wake up in the morning. What do you know that I don't know? Mama switching my pills when I'm gone? What's going on? I was awake the next morning. I didn't sleep a wink that night. Sometimes they say stuff that cracks you up, but you can't laugh because it'll encourage them. You know that too. One night we're brushing our teeth before bed, you know, and that didn't sound right at all. Every night we brush our teeth before bed. Hey, Tennessee, woo! You know. Next year, floss. But you got to pause in a better place than that. We're brushing away one night, and he's like looking in the mirror real intense at him. Then he looks over at me, then back at him, and back at me, and kind of creeping me out, you know? I'm like, what's the matter, little man? He's like, Papa, I just noticed me and you, we kind of look alike. I'm like, yeah, what do you think about that? He goes, what are you going to do? I don't know, but you're going to go to bed early. That's what you're going to do. You don't need your nightlight anymore. You're a big boy. I'm going to close your door all the way. Hope you're still breathing when I wake up in the morning. I don't know. He is a good kid. I want to be a good dad. I had good parents. Just saw my dad recently got my parents a little laptop so they can Skype and see their grandkids. That's what they're supposed to use it for. We get back down here to Tennessee. My dad calls me up on the regular phone. He's like, Richard Dale, I'm about to fire off an email. Keep an eye out for it. I'm like, I will, and just so you know, you don't have to call people right before you send them an email. You're going to text me later, how about a smoke signal, all right? Maybe two, it's windy. So I didn't really want to be the email guy, so I checked my email to see if there's one from my dad. I've got one. It's asking me if I want to follow my dad on Twitter. I'm like, uh-oh, this is not good. So I log on to see if he's put out a tweet yet. He's only had the computer for a couple of days. Oh, yeah. 116 tweets. All capital letters. No followers. That's an optimist right there. So I'm like, here we go. I start reading through it, and I realize about 10 down, it's not even 116 different thoughts. It's one big story broken into 116 chunks. Then I'm reading from the end back down to the beginning. It gets even worse. The whole story was about birds because my dad thought Twitter was a bird-watching, updating website. That's my gene pool. I'm lucky I found this place. If you want to follow my dad on Twitter, I encourage it. He's only got 2 followers now. It's me and the Audubon Society. It's at NutHatcher245161843, which is also his social security number. If you want to log him out, his password is password. That's my family. I love my family. I love my uncles. I had crazy uncles growing up. Y'all had crazy uncles, right? Got to see my crazy Uncle Chuck. He's 89 years old now. Yeah, 50% Irish and 50% Italian. So I know, very feisty and pale and pasty white and hairy all at the same time. Looks like a marshmallow's being kicked around on the barbershop floor. Yeah. Not the guy you want to take to the beach in Speedos, we found out. He scared shrimp away, and they've got tiny eyeballs. He's tore up from the floor up. He's got a glass eye, a toupee, and false teeth. I mean, that's no longer an uncle. That's Mr. Potato Head. He can't hit a speed bump without something popping loose. You know? You're riding shotgun, you're playing catch pretty much. Yeah. We made him sell the convertible. We got tired of pulling over and looking in the weeds. People need to mow. He had the same glass eye at one point for 37 years in a row. Now listen, I don't know what the recommended maintenance schedule is or the warranty, but he had superseded them all. So around Thanksgiving, we said, can we get you a new one for Christmas? He's like, oh yeah, you're the one that's got to look at it and knock yourself out. So we told him that, then we started looking for them. They're expensive. You ever Google a glass eyeball and say how much? Oh, we had to get on eBay and look for a gently used one. They've got everything on eBay. We got him 2 so he could rotate, and a magic 8-ball glass eye. It's the coolest thing, and it's his favorite gift in almost 90 years of living. It's confusing though. Sometimes he shakes his head no, but he says, try again. Ask again later. Hey, y'all been a whole lot of fun. Thanks for hanging out tonight. I appreciate it.